Good morning, Devils fans. That was a unfortunate loss to one of the teams near the bottom of the standings as we lose 5-1 to the Anaheim Ducks at home. Yeah, it's a frustrating loss, but I'm seeing some people take it probably a bit harder than they really need to. I thought we absolutely dominated, not just thought, we did absolutely dominate in that first period. Turns out, John Gibson, when he is playing at his best, is a really good goalie. Was that a bit of a job interview from him? Saying, hey guys, look, I'm right here. Trade all your assets, overpay, and come bring me to Jersey and let's win some cups. Maybe that was in the back of his mind, but absolutely stellar job from him in the first and even the second, although the first period was insane on his part. And then from there, it's a bit frustrating, but I think we really only had one 5-on-5 goal against, which is not bad at all. Otherwise, it was a power play goal against on the PK, two 4-on-4 goals, and an empty netter, which you guys know I do not care about at all. So that's where we get to 5-1 with a good 5-on-5 goal from us out of the fourth line and Mikey McLeod. But let's go one by one, break down the goals against, and see where did we really fall apart in this one. Well, first goal was the penalty kill. Overcommitting to a board play looked to be Kevin Ball. Again, I don't know the full assignment systems that the coaching staff is wanting them to handle there, but from my looks of it, Ball made a unfortunate choice to go and try and outnumber the man along the midboards. Did not win the puck battle. He left his man, Adam Henrique, alone in front of the net, and bang bang play. Henrique gets basically a free tap in because there was not a devil in sight while he was able to clean that up and make it 1-0. This is, of course, in the second period after, like I said, we just dominated the first, and if not for John Gibson, we could have been up multiple goals. But we weren't. So we head into the second, where I still thought we played a fairly decent game. It was definitely nowhere near as dominant as the first. Obviously, it was also very unfortunate to start off on the penalty kill in the second, and they score on it, putting us on the back heel. But overall, I didn't think our play was all that bad. The second goal against did come 4-on-4. And again, we had a bit of a defensive lapse. This time, it looked to be Siegenthaler, in my opinion, that completely left the man alone. And once again, there is a guy completely by himself on the opposite side of Schmid, and he gets the essential empty net tap in. We almost went down 3-0 off of a shot that hit the post. We go the other way, and we also hit a post. But then, thankfully, like 10 seconds later, McLeod to Lazar to McLeod. Boom. We score a goal with less than a minute left in the second. I thought that was going to revitalize us. Only down one goal heading into the third. John Gibson ends up leaving the game. They got a guy coming in cold. Things seemed like things were going to align for us to make the comeback yet again. And it just was not in the cards, as we really just lost all steam in the third period. Only a handful of shots actually made it through. I think the Ducks, for the most part, completely shut down play and were able to control it. Again, they get a 4-on-4 goal. They get the absolute snipe from Troy Terry. And then finally, almost making the loss worth it, Adam Henrique gets his first career hat trick. Really? Never got a hat trick with us is crazy, but he got it here in Jersey in front of the Devils fans. Maybe a little bit of pick me up. You like to see that for Henrique. Obviously always has a soft spot for us Devils fans that are able to watch and remember his amazing Henrique gets over goal. But yeah, it's a bit of a stinker losing like that to a bottom seeded team, but Henrique gets a hat trick, first of his career. You do like to see that for him. I had people messaging me before the game saying, oh yeah, no, we need to win this one, but I wouldn't mind seeing Henrique score. Well, you got to see Henrique score 3 times. First time he's ever done that. Otherwise, we really did just completely lose steam in the third period. It was a very frustrating game from a penalties perspective. 5-on-5 play basically never got to get into flow. Lots of penalty kills, lots of power plays where ours just did. I thought actually looked pretty decent, but could not actually bury the puck. We had Brat barely miss a shot. We had Jack barely miss a shot. We had Palat barely miss. Nico barely miss. Timo barely miss. Everyone just barely missed, but they're still misses. So puck does not find the back of the net in that way. Their power play did get one, like I said at the start of the second. They ended up somehow beating us out in 4-on-4 play, even though we should, given the personnel differences, been able to control play there, but we didn't. And otherwise, yeah, absolutely dominated in the first. Can't find the back of the net because their goalie stood on his head. Decent second period play where I felt like it. No, like I said, nowhere near as dominant, but was still fine. They just managed to cash in on their power play. We didn't, and they got a 4-on-4 goal, and then we kind of just lost all steam there in the third period. So a bit unfortunate. It was supposed to be VTech today, but he ended up not feeling well physically and pulled himself out of this one, giving Akira the back-to-back. We already know, the loss to San Jose, the loss here. Akira doesn't seem to have all the steam in the second half of the back-to-backs. We continue to not play well in the back half of the back-to-backs and just kind of continue to trend here. And even though it's weak teams, technically, the San Jose loss was also, we were away for the first half, and that was only in Philly, so barely. But this one we were in Columbus, so we did have to fly in. Then we're playing, back-to-back. Those stink, but not really an excuse. We came out flying and then just kind of fell off. So that's really it for this one. I don't have too much else to say. I really feel like most of these goals against were actually defensive lapses. I know I made the argument that for most of the season it's been the goalies, not the defense. Well, that's not always the case. This one I do put on the defense. Lots of mid-wall pushes, a couple from Siegenthaler, one from Ball. Siegenthaler, again, kind of trailing to Nemich's side of the ice, taking his guy, leaving his guy wide open. It was just lots of, in my opinion, bad defensive reads. Now, is that the system telling the defenseman to do that? Possibly. But the defenseman also needs to know the read of when to pinch a guy and when to stay true on the back end where you're going to leave a guy wide open. Like if you're going to, there was one play where he went to go pinch the boards. He didn't even make it to the guy before the pass went over to the dude he left wide open. Those just can't happen. And so that's how it is. Chalk it up as a loss. Get right back to it tomorrow versus the Flyers, which is a much bigger deal of a game to actually win. We're still very much in this playoff race. Look at the actual games in hand. Look at the points. Yada, yada, yada. No need to get too down on this one. The weather's awful. I have a work party to get to today, so keeping this one a bit shorter. And, there's not too much great to talk about in this one, so why really talk about it? Only other thing to really touch on would be, Jack took a couple penalties. Seemed to be some frustration in this one for him, but he really played very well in the first and second period. And honestly, I understand his frustration. I cannot believe he got some of the calls and there weren't at least evening out. And I don't know. The reffing was sus in this one at best. But I'm not really someone that's just going to blame the reffing. You got to be able to play it out on the ice. And this was a game we could have, should have won, and we just didn't. So don't get too down on it. We're right back at it tomorrow. And should be a really great bounce back game against a Flyer team. So I think we're going to come out flying against with an actual day of rest as there's no practice today. So get through the day, get back to it tomorrow, and enjoy it. So as always, I'll see you guys tomorrow morning. And forever, let's go Devils.